Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
This pet store in Roseville was pet sitting for a 9-year-old boy. But when he came to pick it up, it was gone. You're not going to believe what happened to it.
This is Tim Pampton in Southfield. Stop the tape. Zoom in. That guy, police are looking for him tonight after he made off with a car worth over $200,000. I'll have that story coming up.
Okay, Tim, but we begin with Ford Field officially opening up tomorrow morning as a federally run mass vaccination site. For the next 8 weeks, Ford Field will be welcoming thousands of Metro Detroiters every day.
Site launched a soft opening today, and so far so good, but they're paying special attention to two groups of people who need those vaccines. Mara McDonald live downtown at 11. Mara, for starters, those with mobility issues.
That's right, Devin. They really want to make the process for anybody who's in a wheelchair or in a walker an easy one. So don't fear coming down here. They really think after today's soft opening, they've got a pretty good process in place. Let me show you.
And no Band-Aid needed. You were good to go?
Today's soft start at Ford Field, by all accounts, was a success. FEMA manages this site in partnership with the state, Meyer and Henry Ford, and started today with less than half of the capacity it has to vaccinate. 2,500 vaccines.
We're looking forward to tomorrow, March 24th, being the real kickoff where we're going to be able to administer up to 6,000 doses tomorrow.
If today was any indication, the site is ready to roll, and for everybody who may be coming down here for their vaccination.
Try to be really thoughtful when it comes to language access, people with disabilities, making sure that we have enough accessible vaccine pods for people with wheelchairs and other different levels of mobility.
The plan is for this process to be seamless for all, whether they have limited English or limited mobility. If the reviews today are any indication, tomorrow and all the days after should be a good experience.
So easy. I registered, I got here before my appointment time thinking I was going to have a line. Walked in, answered a few questions, and just kept following the line and got immediately vaccinated.
Back here live, we really did get rave reviews here today. If you are one of the thousands who are coming down to Ford Field, some things to remember. There is no cost to you. You do not have to have insurance. The parking down here is free. In addition, they are running these vaccines from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8:30 at night. And don't stress about the parking and any of that, because they have staff surrounding the entirety of Ford Field. I rolled up here tonight. You cannot walk 3 feet without seeing a staff member who says, "Ma'am, do you have an appointment tonight? Let me show you where to go." So they got it covered. We're live at Ford Field tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Really great, Mara. We've heard similar reviews, of course, all along from TCF, so getting a lot of things right on this. Tomorrow morning, live on Local 4 News Today, we're going to hear from the medical director of the vaccine site. Dr. Masalam has treated COVID patients and helped with vaccine research and trials. He'll tell us what it takes to pull off this huge enterprise at Ford Field over these next 8 weeks, tomorrow morning at 6:30. Let's move now to the COVID headlines of tonight because of this rise that continues to cause concern in cases in Michigan.
The state reports 3,579 new cases and 16 additional deaths. The state's 7-day average for new cases is now more than 2,900. Vaccinations continue to steadily increase, with the state now saying 29% of Michigan residents have been vaccinated.
Been kind of a dry start to spring. We're in those spring showers, but rain is on the way.
Yeah, so should we expect a wet commute tomorrow?
Yeah, Kim and Devin, I think there's going to be some showers around. I just don't think it's going to be all that impressive as far as widespread or lasting all that long. We'll probably see more dry spots than wet, but those showers are starting, and you can see them in the west and south zone here on Storm Tracker 4. Again, this is going to be fairly light stuff that moves in, and then we'll probably get a little bit of a break before more of this starts to roll through as we head through the overnight hours tonight. You can see Adrian reporting some rain in Howell, but Ann Arbor and Flint still dry as does everybody else across southeast Michigan. Those spots will fill in as we head towards morning, but you can see there 6 a.m. there's not going to be a whole lot out there, and that's pretty much going to be the case through about mid-afternoon when we finally see this stuff wrap up by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That is the first of 3 rounds that we're tracking in now less than 7 days, and the winds are going to be gusting with this. They're going to be gusting a lot more with that second system that we'll track going forward, and all the while temperatures are going to be steadily dropping as we get into the weekend and beyond. So spring going in the wrong direction, but we'll track it all for you in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben. Well, imagine this. You return from vacation only to find the pet store that's been watching your 9-year-old son's tortoise says he is missing.
Not only that, one of the explanations is that he may have been sold by an employee to buy drugs. Jason Colthorpe has a story from Roseville.
Great Lakes Reptiles here in Roseville were actually watching 2 tortoises for the Crow family, Chip and Dale. Well, now a 9-year-old boy just wants to know what happened to Chip.
They meant a lot to me.
Drew Collette is talking about his 2 redfoot tortoises that he's had for 2 years since they were hatchlings. Chip is the one with all the personality.
I was really attached to the one that was missing, of course. That's with my luck, honestly. And yeah, I've just been really depressed for the last few days.
His mom, Connie, says she got some pretty wild explanations from an employee at the store that was pet sitting.
They blame it on one of the managers who I guess relapsed on drugs. And she thinks that he sold him for drug money, basically. But it's possible somebody stole him or that he got out. They have no idea what happened to him. He's just gone.
Well, it's not necessarily true. I mean, we don't really know what happened.
That's the owner of Great Lakes Reptiles, Ryan. He also isn't quite sure what happened, but he settled on this.
Somebody came in and stole the tortoise. We have no idea who did it. That's all that happened. I told them I would replace it. That's the best I can do.
He might just be a tortoise to some people, but to us, he was a pet. And it's so hard just not knowing what happened to him.
Just the fact that they could lose a living animal. It's not like animals just go poof into thin air.
It's true. Pets do not just vanish into thin air. Now, I did press the owner on why hasn't he checked his camera footage. He has security cameras in there, as the family has, and he says he's got a newer system, and apparently these cameras didn't catch the theft or the sale or whatever happened here. That employee, by the way, in question is now a former employee. Kimberly?
It's hard to lose a pet, and I tell you, Jason, I've learned something new. I didn't realize a turtle would need to be babysat or turtle sat, whatever it's called. But I'm wondering, has the family gotten any compensation or any sort of reassurance?
They've gotten $250, but Connie says she took it thinking that they didn't really have any other choice. As a 2-year-old tortoise, it's actually worth a lot more now. That's what their initial investment was. And the owner did say many times he feels bad. He would like to make it right by replacing it with a 2-year-old tortoise. He just can't find one yet. So hopefully that happens.
Okay.
Kim?
Let us know how it ends up. Thank you, Jason.
Now to a car valued at just below $250,000. This afternoon, a man was able to get inside and take off without anyone noticing. How did he do it? Tim Pamplin has that story from Southfield.
Southfield police have been coming and going all day at Dream Luxury Car Rentals on Telegraph Road in Southfield. They're on the hunt for this man, a man with a luxury taste in motor cars. Today it's a $200,000 Bentley Flying Spur.
Very, very nice car, very special car, very luxury car.
Sam knows a thing or two about luxury cars. It's his business. Renting out Lamborghinis, McLarens, Rollers, Mercs and Beamers. And he just bought his very own Bentley, the epitome of the luxury motor car. Yes, there's no question, it's a head-turner, an eye-catcher. Caught the eye of our thief yesterday. He's snooping around, tells them he wants to buy it. They go in the office. The next thing the staff knew, the keys were gone. They were frantically rewinding tape, trying to get a picture of the man who stole the keys. Well, he came back the next day, unbeknownst to them. Keys in his pocket, makes a beeline for the Bentley. Before you know it, he's in and out. Sure, the vehicle is insured, but that's not the point. For Sam, it's a matter of principle. He's worked hard, 17 years to build his business. He wants this man caught.
We can find this guy and we can find the car. I will give $3,000. $3,000.
To get your car back?
To get my car back.
So if you recognize the man in the piston shirt or Sam's Bentley Silver Spur, please do give Southfield Police a call. That's the scene in Southfield tonight with a night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Pretty good picture of him there, Tim. All right, thank you. First-degree murder charges have been filed against a 21-year-old man accused of killing 10 people inside a Colorado supermarket.
A memorial now stands alongside a makeshift fence outside that grocery store in Boulder. The 10 victims, ranging in ages from 20 to 65, and include a police officer who was first on the scene. Police say the motive of the gunman remains unclear. Family has been talking that there may have been serious mental problems here, but they are confident that he acted alone. A busy night for firefighters in Birmingham who battled two large fires just a few blocks from each other. One of the fires broke out at Primo's Pizza around 6 p.m. on Adams Road near Lincoln. No one hurt there, though the pizzeria was heavily damaged. Not far from there, firefighters were battling flames after a home under construction caught fire. Both fires still under investigation tonight.
Still ahead, the war of words escalating between Mayor Mike Duggan and Nicole Curtis.
What the HGTV host had to say after the mayor claimed she was scammed while trying to buy a vacant Detroit home.
But first, a driver in a stolen Dodge Charger crashes on I-75 going more than 120 miles an hour. We'll have that story next.